In video games, having a conclusive ending is important. After all, it's that final result that the player's been working towards, going from plot twist to get there. But sometimes, there's one last final twist, or several, saved for after the credits. So let's take a look at 15 such games that have done just that. Metal Gear Solid. A climactic battle atop Metal Gear Rex, a daring escape while firing at pursuers, and Liquid Snake finally dying a fox die. The ending to Metal Gear Solid is over the top in all the best ways. Meryl and Snake ride off into the sunset and the credits roll, but afterwards, we're treated to Revolver Ocelot speaking to who else but the President of the United States. Not only was Ocelot a double agent, but the President is none other than Solidus Snake, the third clone of Big Boss. It only gets weirder in Metal Gear Solid 2.
Yes, sir. The entire unit was wiped out. Those two are still alive. The Vector? Yes, sir. Fox die should become activated soon, right on schedule. Yes, sir, I recovered all of Rex's dummy warhead data. No, sir, my cover is intact. Nobody knows who I really am. Yes, the DARPA chief knew my identity, but he's been disposed of. Yes, thank you. Goodbye, Mr. President.
Prey. Prey is seemingly about Morgan Yu and his trials and tribulations aboard Talos 1, battling the Typhon. You meet the different characters, battle horrifying enemies, and ultimately have to decide whether to kill the Typhon on the station with a null-wave device or self-destruct the station entirely. The real kicker in the end is that you're not actually Morgan, but a Typhon with his memories. This whole thing was a simulation meant to see if the Typhon could feel empathy, because the race had invaded the Earth. If you were empathetic enough, then you'd be let go and either broker peace between humanity and the Typhon or go a killin' again.
Of retribution. A lot of humans controlled by the Typhon ended up dead. Not that it was easy to avoid, but I think it's worth the risk. Alex, it killed you.
Back then, I would have done the same thing to me.
In the end, it chose to destroy Talos 1. Why? To protect her? We can't really know what its motives were for anything it did.
But we had to make a choice. You can hear us, can't you? Here. I want to show you something. What you experienced was a reconstruction based on Morgan's memories. This is the world today. We spent years trying to put what you can do into us.
Gears of War 4. The real twist in the ending for Gears of War 4 is Reyna's amulet bearing the symbol of Queen Myrrah of the Locusts. This would mean that Kate is technically her granddaughter. Who, how, what is going on exactly? Well, Gears 5 looks to have those answers. Oh, and after the credits, we learn that Oscar is alive after cutting himself out of a snatcher. Good job, Oscar.
So where the hell is everybody?
Star Wars Rogue Squadron 2 Rogue Leader. Hailed as one of, if not the greatest Star Wars dogfighting title ever, Star Wars Rogue Squadron 2 Rogue Leader had some pretty cool secret missions. After the strike at the core mission, if you have enough points from medals, you can unlock 2 special missions, Triumph of the Empire and Revenge on Yavin. These let you play as the Empire in TIE fighters to wipe out the rebels, rewriting history as it were. Days Gone. After finishing the main story, Deacon receives a call from the Nero researcher O'Brien. You'd probably expect him to turn on you or some such other twist. However, as it turns out, O'Brien is actually infected and a freaker himself. Nero was apparently aware of the virus's effects, and it seems to be planning something even nastier. O'Brien eventually leaves, but the door for a sequel is open.
What can I do for you, O'Brien?
I'm here to warn you.
Warn me about what?
You remember? I told you the infected are evolving.
Right, yeah, freaks are freak. What the hell do I do?
strain of the virus, its effects on the human nervous and lymphatic systems is accelerating
at an exponential rate.
They knew all along, of course, that it was happening. The men above me. That's why they were so cautious, so secretive. Come.
I'm sorry.
There's nothing you can do to stop them. There's nothing anyone can do.
Horizon Zero Dawn. The defeat of Hades. The AI looking to purge humanity so that Gaia could start over seemed to point toward the world being safe. Of course, after Aloy went off on her own, we witnessed Hades leaving the rubble of a Deathbringer and going off somewhere. Eventually, he would become trapped in a device carried by none other than Sylens, the mysterious researcher who was aiding Aloy through her journey. Sylens indicates his intention to learn about who woke Hades, thus hinting at a potential sequel with the real cause of all this chaos.
Hello, old friend. Remember me? We've still so much to discuss. So much you never revealed.
God of War. Though the credits begin to roll after Kratos and Atreus finally complete their quest, the post-credits twist occurs when you return home. Settle down for a nice sleep and eventually our heroic duo will awaken to a mysterious figure causing a ruckus outside. It's revealed to be Thor, because Mjolnir and thunder and whatnot. But then, Kratos and Atreus awaken again, as if dreaming the whole thing. Nier Automata. Nier Automata's true ending requires at least 2 playthroughs, one as 2B and the other as 9S, while the final battle must be played from the perspective of 9S and A2. If you didn't do all that, you wouldn't know about the way to restore everyone and potentially repeat the same harmful cycle, hoping for change. This involves, of all things, killing the credits and literally fighting back against the game's creators with the help of other players. If you succeed, then you're given the choice of sacrificing your save data to help another player in need. Fatal Frame, Deep Crimson Butterfly. It's disturbing enough to see that Mayu, not Mio, ends up mad and killing their sister in Fatal Frame Deep Crimson Butterfly. Specific conditions are required to unlock this Wii exclusive ending, but the most disturbing part is probably after the credits. In what seems to be hell, Mayu is happily painting her sister's lips like a doll, kissing away a single tear rolling down her cheek. Fury. In Fury, you're a warrior trapped in a prison for unknown reasons, aside from being really good at killing things with a sword. There's all this talk of a ruination you'll bring on the surface if released. However, upon actually escaping with the help of a man in a bunny mask, don't ask, you learn that you're actually a clone that's part of a planet assimilating fleet. Upon returning to the mothership, you can choose to assimilate the planet or rebel, resulting in one final fight.
Troops deployment in 3, 2, 1. Assimilation.
Metal Gear Solid 2: Sons of Liberty. Remember how we said that Ocelot is a double agent and actually working with the then US President Solidus Snake? Well, in a series of twists and turns, it's revealed in Metal Gear Solid 2 that he's actually an agent for the Patriots. The latter is an organization shrouded in mystery, which seeks to control human behavior and the flow of information. Pretty shady business, right? Well, by the game's end, Solidus Snake is defeated, Raiden is reunited with Rose, and Snake and Otacon pursue Ocelot, who's been possessed by Liquid Snake's arm. Again, don't ask. To destroy the Patriots. However, in the epilogue, it's revealed that the Patriots have been dead for 100 years, and things only get weirder from there.
Snake, you there? It's me. I've finished going over that disc.
Did you find the Patriots list?
Of course. It contains the personal data of 12 people. There was a name on it. Snake, it was one of our biggest contributors.
What's going on around here?
I don't know.
Anyway, where are they?
Well, we were right about them being on Manhattan, but...
But what?
They're already dead. All 12 of them.
When did it happen?
Well, about 100 years ago.
What the hell?
Undertale. Undertale is a game of many endings because the results of one playthrough can impact the next. If you embark on a genocide run, which ends with the game's universe being destroyed, and choose to resurrect it by giving up your soul, then the next run is significantly altered. Perhaps the most chilling of changes is when Frisk makes the decision to stay with Toriel in a new post-genocide playthrough. Chara is revealed to have possessed our hero and his eyes glow red. Final Fantasy X. In Final Fantasy X, the city of Zanarkand was destroyed and its survivors created a dream version through their memories. Titus and Jecht are part of that illusion, and the only thing keeping it going is the antagonistic Sin. So all throughout, there's this tension that defeating Sin will result in Titus perishing, but it has to be done. Cue the end sequence where the Zanarkand survivors are freed, Yuna vows to destroy the world of Spira, and Titus disappears. But not really. Titus actually awakens underwater and swims to the surface before fading out. A metaphor for his passing on? You would think so, except Final Fantasy X-2 is a thing.
Are you real?
I think so.
You didn't disappear.
Metroid Prime 3: Corruption. Metroid Prime 3: Corruption is the penultimate conclusion to the trilogy. It was the final battle between Samus and Dark Samus at the end of Phazon and much more. However, after gathering all items, we see Samus flying off with another ship in pursuit. Did Dark Samus actually survive? Well, no, that's actually Sylux from Metroid Prime Hunters. We know that he hates the Galactic Federation and Samus, but what sinister plans does he have in mind? We're still waiting on Metroid Prime 4 to find out. Marvel's Spider-Man. The 2018 PlayStation 4 exclusive was perhaps the best video game representation of Spider-Man. With excellent traversal mechanics backed up by an engaging story and boss fights, Marvel's Spider-Man is a must-play for any PlayStation 4 owner out there. But what blew our minds was the ending. Seeing the symbiote attached to Harry Osborn was simply put mind-bending. But the question remains whether this was Venom or some other rendition of the symbiote. Riot, Red Goblin, Carnage, something else entirely? Perhaps the sequel will answer this someday.
We were so close. But I'll keep trying. I will find a cure. I will. I love you, son.
Kingdom Hearts 3. Using the power of awakening, Sora brings Kairi back to life, which is all well and good, but we eventually cut to Destiny Island where everyone seems to be frolicking about happy. What happened to Sora? Well, it's presumed that he made the ultimate sacrifice to save his one true love. If you collect the required number of lucky emblems though, you'll unlock the secret movie Yozora. It's revealed that Sora is in the world of Verum Rex, with the Noctis lookalike Yozora stalking him in what seems to be Shibuya. And that wraps it up. If you like what we're doing, please consider subscribing to our channel. We upload new videos daily. Also, don't forget to switch on the bell notification icon, that way you don't miss out on any of our videos.